don't know how you do it, but you seem to well, you're the creator and the writer of all things, so not be anxious, and you're supposed to let the process, the system do the work, right? Let it allow the system to stay. So let's see if we can. That's good enough here. All right, thank you, Father. So what a day. Trying to just take in. Want to go outside, bud? You know, I'm inside in just a minute. I know. So they chose to do something very odd today. They assigned a judge from the county that Elijah is missing and potentially murdered in, and that's Judge Pat Wolke. So I don't know why they would do that, other than there's obviously something very nefarious going on. And I know I'm not wrong now. I know that that's a 4-hour drive from Josephine County to Lakeview to Lake County. Why would they have a judge rule on this case and not even be from the county, not familiar with the case whatsoever? So, no, I said that my son is potentially murdered and daughter has been murdered by Marshal Radanich that have reported to the Josephine County Police Department, and they denied to call for service. And now they just had a judge show up from Josephine County 4 hours away on my case. Something's up. I know I'm right, guys. I know I'm right. This deals with Marshall and Josephine County. Why would they assign a judge from 4 hours away to this case, not be even, and this is whether or not the judge would preside on the case. So, yeah, it's supposed to be a jury case. So me neither. You guys, you're not going to believe what you're going to hear. Unbeknown to me, Kevin recorded it for my safety. So I was told I can't record the phone call, but Kevin, whatever it is, what it is. I should keep him anonymous, but it is what it is. I still have the right of affirmative defense to protect myself from illegal prosecution. So, you know, would it be recorded if they, if I had asked for the, you know, for a FOIA request? This judge threatened to make me represent myself, guys, in court. They violated my right today. This judge should be removed. If the feds don't call me in the next couple of days, I'm pretty sure they're going to come out in here and try to arrest me again for some, you know, like I said, I'll listen to this phone call. I'm going to document this as evidence, but I don't think that, it's called a FOIA. It's called the Freedom of Information Act in America, where you have the right to your, you know, public records. But this is my case. So, wow, guys, you're not going to believe what happened today. Like I said, it just they trampled on my rights, and 100% I will be adding another $50 million to this case for what they did to me. And I've decided to donate everything to the ministry. So, no, I don't want any money, but I'll play it for you. You want to see what a $50 million lawsuit looks like? This judge came from 4 hours away and denied me and said, well, you'll see. You'll see. He put me straight to trial in 6 days without a jury selection, without witness selection, without anything. They were going to railroad me. And Father protect me again, just like they came here with 30 men with guns trying to kill me, and I'm still standing here. So this took a turn for the worse today, a massive turn. This leads me to believe that there's something very nefarious going on in Josephine County with my son and his disappearance, and Marshall Radanich. So I haven't been wrong so far, remember? So what they did to me is an absolute nightmare today. I'm thankful Father has Kevin here, and I thought he was just here as a witness, but like I said, he recorded it. I promised him I wouldn't, but he did. So that's, Kevin has the right to do that. So I hope they already targeted Kevin. I can prove that they targeted Kevin in open court. They did. They went after him. They, so yeah, no, I want out of the country. I'm being illegal prosecuted. I think my son and daughter have been murdered now, and I'm like 98% sure now that Josephine County Police Department is involved with this. And so is Marshall Radonich, because I have all this documented. I've documented everything under my right of discovery and suppression of evidence. I have the right to create discovery and evidence. I know I've done this for a living. So Father protected me today. I cannot believe what happened today. It is unfathomable. It's probably never been done in court. And they said that I have to represent myself. You have the right to due process, fair and speedy trial and adequate counsel. Those are your fifth and sixth. You have all these rights under the Constitution, and they cannot fail these rights. And they did in this case throughout. They sent a judge that not even presiding on the case, knows nothing about the case, to make a decision on whether they're going to send it to trial in 6 days. And it's been 407 days today. So he's, oh, well, you want a speedy trial? Then you won't get along with your attorneys. The attorney hasn't filed any motions. Nothing in the case. There's nothing ever been done legally. He knows nothing about the case, but he tried to throw the book at me, and they were going to throw me. So I have this judge. I'll sue this judge's bond, Judge Pat Wolke, if he's the one from Josephine County. And I'm pretty sure, because I looked up his information before I came on here. And so that makes sense. I think my son has been murdered, and I think Josephine County knows something about it. And I've already reported this. You'll hear that I said this in open court, and they just deny it. They run from it. They don't ever want to talk about this case. How could they have a case? My son, the whole case is about my son, and he's missing, and they're going to have a case about my son. He's my witness. He's on my case. My daughter is on my case. Both my witnesses are missing, and this guy's going to shove through a case in 6 days. This guy needs to be removed from the bar. He needs to be taken down as a judge. He is an absolute, what you're going to experience here should absolutely, I don't know if the feds don't get involved with this now, guys. I feel like, it's all right. I have somebody to take care of my dogs. I'm not worried about it. They can do whatever the hell they want with me. You'll hear what they did to me today. It is appalling. If you live in this country and something like this happened to you, I hope you would find somebody that can help somebody like me out in some way. And I know Father's doing it. He'll do this on his own, but, all right, guys, here we go. Listen to this. They don't want me to play this, but like I said, unbeknown to me, it was recorded. Kevin has the legal right. And even if I did, I could have told them and recorded it anyways, because I have the right of affirmative defense. I have the right to protect myself from illegal prosecution. And under that right, under my Fourth Amendment right, which they've already violated, which I still have, I have the right to protect myself, and my actions in a civil or criminal trial would be excused or justified. So here we go. You're going to witness. This is probably a $50 million lawsuit right here against Pat Wolke. Definitely Paul Palmer is going to be placed under lawsuit, and I'll be placing a lawsuit against you. Hear me tell them in open court today. I can't do anything else, brothers and sisters. You'll see what they try to do to me today. And this will prove 100% that the state and the county has it out and are trying to kill me. And I believe they've kidnapped and killed my daughter and my son. So if this means anything to you, and I am not being sensational here, I'm serious. I've reported the death to my son, to Josephine County, and now they assign a judge from Josephine County 4 hours away to preside over my case. That's not normal. That is not normal. Something's not right. And I've been saying it on this live stream for how fucking long. And I apologize for cursing, but I kept my bearing today. But, we'll listen to it. This is unreal. Unreal. I apologize. I kept all day and curse all day. I just didn't. You didn't want to stay out there for 2 minutes. Wanting to get out, wanting to get in. All right, go let my dog in. Apologize, guys. Get hit in the face with grenades. So then my respiratory system's all messed up. Breathing tear gas. I love you. You guys are like In and out, 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 in and out. So I'm so thankful for having this today. Hell, if I'd called for this by record, they wouldn't give this to me, guys. They would say that this disappeared, okay? So you're about to witness criminal behavior on a judge. I'm telling you guys, if this doesn't hit home and make you think about what the hell's going on in your country that they do to somebody like me, going into this case, no record, no criminal record, a veteran that served this country. I have my honorable discharge. I did it my time, and I still serve the country, but they've just absolutely trampled on every right that I have. And so I'm not, like I say, guy, I was okay actually until I found out that this guy was from Josephine County. Then this worries me a lot about my son, and my daughter and their disappearance, because not ever has there been any contact or anything said about either one of them. They never want to talk about it, ever, 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 ever. So you're going to witness, and I have to do this for my safety, my son and my daughter's safety. I'm using my right of affirmative defense, protective self-defense. And will you please listen to what Josephine County, I think they're involved in the murder of my son and my daughter somehow with Marshall Radonich, the Josephine County Police Department. You'll hear me. Remember, they threatened me with arrest, and they wouldn't go look for my potential raped, kidnapped. I didn't even say kidnapped. I said murdered because they've been missing. So I'm not playing games here. I have a son and daughter that are missing, and I am being extorted and gang stalked and threatened. I've already asked to be placed in witness protection. I can prove that the cops are out destroying my property, literally committing criminal acts, to my property to try to intimidate me, to shut me, be quiet. And I have not broken any laws. I have the right of the First Amendment to use my right of, to speak up. And I have my right to self-defense under my Fourth Amendment. I have the right to protect myself from illegal prosecution. It's called affirmative defense. And I have a judge telling me today that I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. You don't know yourself, but you're going to represent yourself in trial then. If you don't accept our attorneys that aren't doing anything, have never filed anything, and their behavior is criminal and malfeasance, and it's been a lack of counsel, adequate counsel under my Fifth Amendment, fair and speedy trial. Oh, you want to have a trial? Well, I'll send you to trial in 6 days. They haven't even picked a jury yet. They got to notify jurors, guys. These people are criminal. What they tried to do to me today, you're going to be a witness to history, guys. I don't know how many more days I have on this rock. I feel like I'm their biggest threat right now in the state of Oregon. And I've asked for protection. So they've already brought violence, and they've already brought guns, and now they brought an attorney from 4 hours away, to preside over this case, when this is whether the attorney that quit 3 days ago forgot to call, and he quit 3 months ago. Not only did he quit 3 months ago, but he forgot to call. That's an absolute violation of right of due process and adequate counsel. Just before today. And then they decided this judge who knows nothing over the case. Where was Judge Vandenberg today? And, they did this in this case last time when they Bill Studenberg asked to be, because they always use their blanket thing. Like when I used to be a law enforcement officer, and I did, field sobriety and DUIs, it was always the same thing. I smelt an alcoholic beverage emanating from his or her persons. It's always the same in the report. And so they always say the same thing. So they said, well, there's an attorney-client privilege breakdown. And he said, it's you that's the problem. Watch what's done. So we're going to listen to this, guys. If this doesn't break your heart, I don't know how many more days I have on this rock. I feel like they're going to come try to kill me again, guys, because I think they're covering up for the murder of my son and daughter. And I think Marshall is somehow involved in this. And I don't know how. Marshall Red, Wolf Creek, Mount Creek, Oregon. I've said it at the last time of my arrest months ago, and nobody's looked at this. Why wouldn't they stop this case today and say, Mr. Werner, you're saying your son is murdered. We'll look into that. Now, we're trying to get through this. Just listen to what they did to me today. It's insane. So I have to do this for my safety and protection. I hope that they don't target Kevin. It is what it is. And I apologize. I wanted to keep them the fears, but they're going to know where it comes from. Like I said, it is what it is. He did it for my safety, and I appreciate having him around. He's a good guy, and he's not breaking any laws, and I told him that I wouldn't. They asked me, would you promise not to record our phone call if we let you appear over phone? See, they wanted to set me up. They had this whole thing that they're going to railroad me today. Watch what they tried to do to me today, guys. This is incredible. If this doesn't rip your heart out of your chest, what just happened to me today, I don't know how I'm going to get up tomorrow. I don't even know how I'm going to go to bed tonight and sleep, that they're not going to come fill this place full of fucking bullets, guys. Only Father's going to protect me. This is out of control. What you're about to witness is something that I really wish nobody would ever have to go through this. I hope Father is soon done beating the shit out of me, because I'm getting a little old and I'm trying. Oh, come on. Where's my, what the heck is going on here? Okay. Okay. So are you ready? Here we go, guys. They're going to be so pissed if they watch this and hear this. They know that this is recorded, but I don't have any choice. I have to protect myself, my son. Somebody's going to have to look at me. That volume is, that sounds horrible. Hold on. Let me see if I can get a little better sound out of this here. We'll try to hook up to the
Bluetooth mode.
No, it's just Bluetooth. I don't normally do Bluetooth, guys, so hold on. I don't like none of that wireless or none of that stuff, but I have the speaker.
Bluetooth is connected.
Okay, so.
To continue. He was working on yes. Okay, thank you. Alright, we have attorney, we have defendant,
Keep in mind, this isn't even the presiding judge. He's from the judge where I said my son is murdered from, or missing, for sure. This is a massive lawsuit. Total massive lawsuit right here. This judge is going to be removed from his bar. Removed. Wolke, Josephine County, 4 hours away. Not the judge on the case. Going to decide whether the judge can, whether the attorney can be let go or not. Mr. Charles. He said, Mr. Charles, did I say your name right? He doesn't even know the district attorney's name, guys. This judge is ruling over this case. It's a case that's 407 days old. He doesn't preside over the case. It's not Vandenberg. They bring this judge in from 4 hours away from the county that threatened me to arrest me for calling and saying, hey, you know, my son is over there, and this guy potentially, I think he might be involved with the feds or something, and he potentially kidnapped and raped and my daughter and murdered my son or my daughter. Here's all my evidence. Here's my evidence. and they denied me call for service, which is illegal. And then they send a judge from that county over here to preside over this case, Judge Pat Wolke. So this isn't looking good, guys. You know, only Father's protecting me once again. So here we go. Craziness. I never thought this would go this route, but here we go. Are you ready? Hold on to your hats, because this is going to get crazy. You guys, I'm hoping somebody will hear this. Not other than them, when they hear this, it's it. I think they're going to bring it's it. They're going to either drop this case or they're going to bring all their guns out here again. I know it. But here we go. This judge is not even the judge on the case, so he doesn't know anything about the case. How would they get him to make a ruling on this case?
CR 27997 versus Tracy Werner. Mr. Werner is with this. My telephone, Mr. Werner, can you hear me okay? Yes. And Mr. Palmer is here. My telephone, Mr. Palmer, can you hear me okay? Yes, Your Honor. And Mr. Charles is your person. We're hearing Mr. Palmer's motion to withdraw as Mr. Werner's attorney. Mr. Palmer, would you like to be heard? Yes, Your Honor. The attorney-client relationship between I and Mr. Werner has degraded to the point I don't think we'll be able to repair it.
I would say the same thing.
Because of that and his adamant statements about trial, I believe it's best to proceed with alternative counsel. And could you give me a little more detail as to what's going on between you and Mr. Werner? Yes, I believe that the essential disagreement stems from I was exploring some issues on which I had indicated I would file a motion. Ultimately, at the culmination of my research, I determined that motion would not be meritorious. I believe that was really frustrating in Mr. Werner. Hey, Mr. Werner, what's your take on all this? I have been denied. It's been 407 days. My right of due process has been failed. I was grenaded to the face, and I have not received any counsel. So Paul Palmer's never given me any actual counsel. I reported that my son could be murdered and missing to the Josephine County, and he did not follow up after the Josephine County. I did report that my son could be murdered or missing. My daughter.
Now, keep in mind, guys, I have no idea now. The guy I'm talking to is from fucking Josephine County. Keep in mind now. Think how wild this is going to get real quick. This judge happens to be from Josephine County. Are you shitting me? I didn't know this at the time, guys. I'm telling him that my son has been murdered in Josephine County, and they've got a judge from Josephine County now presiding over my case. You guys, I'm hoping somebody will hear this. I'm blown away that this is even possible. I'm just, Father just never ceases to amaze me. I just never ceases to pull out every single stop, and just as soon as I think it's going to just never get, and I'm not saying that it can't get worse, he pulls this kind of stuff out. So here we are. Pat Wolke, Josephine County Circuit Clerk Judge. Now I'm saying to him, I've reported my son and my daughter dead or missing, and now they've got a freaking judge from Josephine County sitting on. Now, I don't know this, guys. I don't know this. So let's continue. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Him, I have it all recorded, and he's not following up. I also did record that. Mr. Werner, Judge Wolke, I don't know what you're talking about. What's the problem between you and your attorney, right? He's not provided me any.
I don't know what you're talking about. He said he doesn't know what I'm talking about. Does anybody want to take a bet that this judge knows exactly what I'm talking about? You guys, they just, the state and the county just stepped on their dick again. They opened themselves up for a massive lawsuit again. Here we are again. And I didn't do this. I'm just a dad using my right of affirmative defense, my Fourth Amendment, to help my son from getting thrown in prison. I have that right. Self-defense from legal prosecution. Justification, excuse defense. I know my rights. Now they've got this judge from the same county. How the fuck is that? How's that possible? How's that possible that I reported my son and daughter missing and they appoint the judge right over the case, and now he said he doesn't know anything about the case? I don't believe that for a second. And this is organic, so we're doing this from the hip because I just discovered that he was from Josephine County.
counsel I can legally show you. He's provided zero counsel for me. So he's failed my Fifth Amendment right of due process and adequate counsel. So he's not adequate counsel. He's provided me. You'll see nothing on the record. So he's got nothing. He even forgot to call in the other day. So he's definitely not adequate counsel. You quit talking, I'm talking now, okay? What I know is that this allegation arose back in...
You quit talking, I'm talking now. No, I was talking, I hadn't finished my sentence. Now he says, you quit talking, I'm talking now. So he's going to assert his, black robe over me to try to make me afraid of him and tell me that, I better shut the fuck up and take his deal and do whatever the hell I'm told, because 98.5% of cases take a plea agreement. And they're not used to it. They don't even know how to do a damn... See, I told you guys, they got somebody coming from a different county to come over here on this case now because they don't even know what the hell to do. So, here we go. This guy's from Josephine County. I report my son dead or missing. He don't want to hear it. And I'm telling him, if you listen, I'm telling him they failed my right. We're going to go back and listen to it again.
Ultimately, at the culmination of my research, determined that motion would not be meritorious. I believe that was really frustrating, Mr. Werner.
Because I wanted to go to trial, and he didn't want to do nothing. I told him to file a change of venue because they gave me my right to fair trial, my right to judge bias, jury bias. I can't get a fair trial because it's politically motivated. Now they got a judge coming from a completely different county. This is absolutely the epitome of what a case that is change of venue. I also told him, if you hear me tell the judge, they hit me in the face with a grenade without doing anything to them. So they assaulted me. That's a Fourth Amendment violation. That's enough to dismiss this case immediately. Hitting me in the face with a grenade when I was not threatening them in any way and it was all live stream. This is out of control. Okay. So here we go. This judge, listen to what he's saying. And then listen to what I'm saying.
Hey, Mr. Werner, what's your take on all this? I have been denied. It's been 407 days. My right of due process has been failed. I was grenaded to the face, and I have not received any counsel. So Paul Palmer's never given me any actual counsel. I reported. Neither
has Phil Studenberg. This judge knows nothing about Phil Studenberg. Phil Studenberg took him 6 months to put Studenberg, the first attorney, onto the case, and he didn't do anything. He didn't file anything. He did nothing. He opened up the case and said, I quit, because he knew he couldn't do anything about the case. They had already fucked up and allowed my son's attorney to represent me, failed to Mirandize me, kept me in jail an extra week too long, hit me in the face with a grenade. He knew he was from a county. He wasn't from the same county. That's why this attorney's backing out too. He's not from their county. He doesn't have to. These people are stepping in because they don't even have an attorney in this county to try me. They come out and SWAT raid my house. You'd think they could actually provide a judge, that could sit on and do this. No, 98.5% of cases, probably more out here, 98 or 99, just get pushed right through the system. So here we go. Listen to what I'm telling him, and listen to what I'm telling these judges, and they don't want to listen. This guy isn't even from the county. He's from the county where I said my son and my daughter.
My son can be murdered and missing to the Josephine County, and he did not follow up after the Josephine County. I did report my son could be murdered or missing. My
in this county that the judge has presided from.
He's not following up. I also
are you hearing me, guys? This judge, unbeknown to me right now, is sitting from the county 4 hours away that I reported that my son was murdered from, and my daughter, or missing, and where I found all my evidence because they wouldn't do any kind of investigation. Neither attorney has any investigation. None. I've not ever been approached by either attorney's investigator asking me about witnesses, anything. I've not provided any counsel. Phil Studenberg didn't provide any counsel. It took him 6 months. He opened the case, quit. Now, this guy's going to act like Phil Studenberg. He don't know anything about this case. They come and try to just railroad me. Here we go.
Of course, Mr. Werner, Judge Wolke here. I don't know what you're talking about. What's the problem between you and your attorney, Rand? He's not provided me any counsel. I can legally show you. He's provided zero counsel for me. So he's failed my Fifth Amendment right of due process and adequate counsel.
Now, see, he's asked me a question, right? And I'm answering his question right now. What's your problem? And so I answer his question. There's no interrupting anybody here. Ask question. I'm answering his question. Okay?
not adequate counsel. He's provided me nothing. You'll see nothing on the record. So he's done nothing. He even forgot to call in.
3 days ago, this week, I don't know, on Monday, the attorney forgot to call in. And he forgot to quit months ago. Because I have on record that he quit months ago. So the attorney quit months ago, and he had even forgot to call in for the court date. That's inadequate counsel. Immediate dismissal. I can't get adequate counsel. That's a right of my Fifth Amendment violation. So let's continue.
So he's definitely not adequate counsel. You quit talking, I'm talking now, okay? What I know is that this allegation arose back in May of 2024, so we're way late on this case going.
So we're way late on this case going. Under the right of due process. This has already been failed.
Immediately.
Fair and speedy trial, Sixth Amendment. That's a Sixth Amendment violation. Fair and speedy trial, adequate counsel, Fifth Amendment. Call witness. Do you hear what he just says now? He threatens me. Watch. Listen, now I'm going to get threatened for the first time. He asked me a question. Now he's going to threaten me. Listen, we're going to go back and listen to this again.
Murdered and missing to the Josephine County. He did not follow up after the Josephine County. I did report that my son could be murdered or missing. My daughter, to him, I have it all recorded, and he's not following up. I also did record that. Mr. Werner, Judge Wolke, I don't know what you're talking about. What's the problem between you and your attorney, right? He's not provided me any counsel. I can show you he's provided zero counsel for me. So he's failed my Fifth Amendment right of due process and adequate counsel. So he's not adequate counsel. He's provided me nothing. You'll see nothing on the record. So he's done nothing. He even forgot to call in the other day. So he's definitely not adequate counsel. You quit talking, I'm talking now, okay? What I know is that this allegation arose back in May of 2024. So we're way late on this case going. It should be dismissed immediately. Mr. Werner, don't interrupt me, General. I'm going to hold you in contempt.
You're going to hold me in contempt.
Initially, you had Mr. Stukenberg as your attorney. He had to withdraw because for the same reason put forth by Mr. Palmer, and that is that the two of you couldn't get along. And I suspect it was, given the fact that it's happening again, I suspect it was your doing and not.
So he said, I suspect, and I don't know anything about the case, but I suspect it was your doing. Not that I've even opened the case and Phil Stukenberg didn't even do anything in the case, but I suspect it's your fault.
Sure, Stukenberg. And now Mr. Palmer's in the same position of wanting to withdraw for a breakdown of attorney-client privilege, or attorney-client relationship. So what you have to understand is, if you want to have an attorney, you have to understand the attorney has a lot more legal expertise and knowledge than you do. And an attorney is under an ethical obligation not to file frivolous motions. And so if your attorney says, I just can't file this motion even though you want me to because it's obviously frivolous, then that's not lack of representation. That's doing a good job as their attorney.
That's a good job, he says, that they're not doing their job.
This is set for trial next week. This is an old case that needs to go to trial. Mr. Palmer, I'm going to deny your motion to withdraw.
He just denied the attorney's motion to withdraw. Now, keep in mind, the attorney quit 3 months ago. He forgot to call the other day in to even call in to my pretrial conference because he quit 3 months ago. They took him 15 minutes to get him on the phone. 15 minutes to get this attorney on the phone. He didn't even show up. Total lack of adequate counsel. Right, a fair trial. He's going to deny this attorney. This attorney hasn't summoned any witness. How the hell could they take this to trial? My son is missing and dead. This whole case is potentially dead, and the whole case is about my son. My daughter missing. Both of them are on the, both of them are on the case. And I reported them dead or missing. Now remember, Josephine County, they said they saw him on film, on camera, but they didn't go get him, and they had a warrant for his arrest to put him in jail for 7 to 10 years. Sure thing. But they didn't go get him? Something's up. He wasn't even there, or they would have got him already. That judge should be livid. What do you mean? What do you mean the judge should be livid? So anyway, so this judge is from the county that reported my son dead or missing from. So now they've taken this judge where I said, hey, here's where my son's at, and I think he's dead, and my daughter's car was there. I found this guy. I think here's the motive. So let's listen to what he says, because now he says, I'm going to put you in contempt of court. So we'll continue. I have no idea this judge is from Josephine County, guys. This is insane. They're in a shit wad. They fucking stepped on their own dick here.
I want you to do your very best for Mr. Werner. And Mr. Werner, I would advise you, if you don't want to have an average trial, to just take your attorney's advice during the trial. Okay, sir, do I have the right to call witness? Do I have the right to adequate counsel? Do I have the right to speedy trial? Do I have my Fifth Amendment right to adequate counsel? I've not been provided that. I have a very large list. How have they even gone through and looked for a jury selection at this point? So there's been nothing filed. If they want to do that, that's fine. I'll go ahead and file a lawsuit then at this point. And I have to do it for, they haven't even, I was grenaded to the face, and that should drop the case immediately. And I was provided counsel by Dan Spencer, my son's attorney. That's co-counsel. I know this case very well, and that's fine. But Paul Palmer.
That gets the case dropped immediately. That gets the case dropped immediately. My son represented me. My son's attorney represented me. You understand? My son's attorney represented me 4 times in open court. That's called co-counsel. If you know what that is, it's called co-counsel. Each attorney has to represent a different client. They can't have the same client. Every defendant gets a different attorney. My son's attorney represented me. That'll get this case dropped immediately. Do you understand? And I'm going to say that in here. And these judges keep letting this happen. You understand? That judge allowed Elijah's attorney to represent me in open court. Vandenberg. That's why I think they put this other judge over there, because Vandenberg's out of the way, man. He's screwed. Vandenberg knows he can't do this. Now they sent this judge from Josephine County where I said, my son is potentially dead, and this guy doesn't. That's a conflict of interest right there, too. So now he's threatened me with contempt of court because he asked me a question, and I answered his question. And he don't like the answer, so now they're going to go ahead, and because they don't care, he denies. He denies. So in 6 days, they're going to have a trial when I have So again, you know, like I said, this judge has no idea about this case. He doesn't have anything about the case. Neither does this new district attorney. He's not familiar with it. The district attorney years ago, like I said, the case is old, is left. So is the elected sheriff. This case is even older than they're saying. This case starts back in 2020. They're idiots. They said my son didn't do his his community service, and he did it not once but twice, and then they still tried to throw him in prison. So when they have the state as the burden of proof, that means they have to go back and prove Elijah didn't do these 180 hours. That's why they SWAT raided the house, because I wouldn't have let them arrest Elijah because they were saying he didn't do his 180 hours. And not only did he do them, he did them again. He did them over again. And they still tried to throw him in prison. So it's targeting. This is a case of pure targeting. Anybody around me, Kevin, Gene, you know, anybody around me gets targeted. So let's go ahead and continue with the case, guys.
Not adequate counsel, and I can prove that. He can't go to trial. He hasn't done anything. He has not provided any witness. Is Ryan Solberg going to be there? Is Lily Frank going to be there? Is Richard Greer going to be there? Is Officer Black going to be there? There's been no witnesses even called or summoned, so we can't have a trial where there's no witnesses.
Did you hear what I just said to this judge? He says, no, you're going to trial in 6 days, whether you like it or not. I'm denying this counsel that hasn't done anything, filed not one single piece of paperwork. And not only that, he hasn't given you any counsel for the last 3 months. And I have that on record. And he forgot to even call the other day. And he said that in open court. So that's adequate counsel, due process, fair, speedy trial. So there's no way that they could speed. And he was like, nope, you're going to go through this anyways. You know what I'm saying? You're going to go through this anyways. You're going to go through this. I don't see, guys, they didn't even have selected a jury. I guarantee you there is no jury that's been summoned to this case. These people stepped on their dick huge right here. This is a $50 million lawsuit, at least $50 million. Watch. This judge is bonded. All those people in that room, they're all bonded. And I told you, I don't care. I don't want to sue anybody. I've been trying to tell them for over a year, stop your nonsense. I have the evidence to show that my son did all his probation. I'm just a dad trying to protect my son. You're an idiot. Stop it. You don't know the case. I do. I was involved in the case from day one. I was there when he was arrested. I was there. You could ping my phone. I was there. So, here's the continuum. Now I'm talking to a judge. I have no idea that's from Josephine County, and I've reported my son dead in this same county, and my daughter, and that's where my daughter's car went missing, in Josephine County. So they're involved in this, guys. So is Marshall Radonich, and I'm not going to be wrong now. I know it. Damn it, I know that I'm not going to be wrong.
Right to call witness under my Sixth Amendment in my favor. And so if we can have a trial in 6 days, that would be a mistrial, even if we did try to. And it's fine. If the courts want to do this, the court's going to do whatever they're going to do, but they should immediately open the case. The case never even opened up.
Okay, look, we're going to go back and listen from the beginning here, okay? For those who's just coming back in, we're going to come in about 2 minutes. We're just going to listen through this. I'm not going to explain it now. You're going to get a gist so you can get the whole flow of how this conversation worked. This is criminal. This is absolute behavior on the judge's part. Conflict of interest. Yeah.
Tracy Werner. Mr. Werner is with us by telephone. Mr. Werner, can you hear me okay? Yes. And Mr. Palmer is here by telephone. Mr. Palmer, can you hear me okay? Yes, Your Honor. And Mr. Charles is your person. We're hearing Mr. Palmer's motion to withdraw as Mr. Werner's attorney. Mr. Palmer, would you like to be heard? Yes, Your Honor. The attorney-client relationship between I and Mr. Werner has degraded to the point I don't think we'll be able to repair it. Because of that and his adamant statements about trial, I believe it's best to proceed with alternative counsel. And could you give me a little more detail as to what's going on between you and Mr. Werner? Yes, I believe the essential disagreement stems from I was exploring some issues on which I had indicated I would file a motion. Ultimately, at the culmination of my research, I determined that motion would not be meritorious. I believe that was very frustrating in Mr. Werner. Hey, Mr. Werner, what's your take on all this? I have been denied. It's been 407 days. My right of due process has been failed. I was grenaded to the face, and I have not received any counsel. So Paul Palmer's never given me any actual counsel. I reported that my son can be murdered and missing to the Josephine County, and he did not follow up after the Josephine County. I did report that my son could be murdered or missing. My daughter, to him, I have it all recorded, and he's not following up. I also did record that Mr. Werner, Judge Wolke, I don't know what you're talking about. What's the problem between you and your attorney right now? He's not provided me any counsel. I can legally show you he's provided zero counsel for me. So he's failed my Fifth Amendment right of due process and adequate counsel. So he's not adequate counsel. He's provided me nothing. You'll see nothing on the record. So he's done nothing. He even forgot to call in the other day. So he's definitely not adequate counsel. You quit talking, I'm talking now, okay? What I know is that this allegation arose back in May of 2024, so we're way late on this case going. It should be dismissed immediately. Mr. Werner, don't interrupt me, or else I'm going to hold you in contempt. So initially you had Mr. Stigberg as your attorney. He had to withdraw because for the same reason put forth by Mr. Palmer, and that is that the two of you couldn't get along, and I suspect it was, given the fact that it's happening again, I suspect it was your doing and not Mr. Stigberg. And now Mr. Palmer's in the same position of wanting to withdraw for a breakdown of the attorney-client privilege, or the attorney-client relationship. So what you have to understand is, if you want to have an attorney, you have to understand that the attorney has a lot more legal expertise and knowledge than you do. And if the attorney is under an ethical obligation not to file frivolous motions. And so if your attorney says, I just can't file this motion even though you want me to because it is obviously frivolous, then that's not lack of representation. That's good job as an attorney. So I know this is set for trial next week. This is an old case that needs, I would advise you, if you don't want to have an unresolved trial, to just take your attorney's advice during the trial. Okay, sir, do I have the right to call witness? Do I have the right to adequate counsel? Do I have the right to speedy trial? Do I have my Fifth Amendment right to adequate counsel? I've not been provided that. I have a very large list. How have they even gone through and looked for a jury selection at this point? So there's been nothing filed. If they want to do that, that's fine. I'll go ahead and file a lawsuit then at this point, and I have to do it for, they haven't even, I was grenaded to the face, and that should drop the case immediately. And I was provided counsel by, again, Spencer, my son's attorney. That's co-counsel. I know this case very well, and that's fine, but Paul Palmer's not adequate counsel, and I can prove that. He can't go to trial. He hasn't done anything. He has not provided any witness. Is Ryan Solberg going to be there? Is Lily Frank going to be there? Is Richard Greer going to be there? Is Officer Black going to be there? There's been no witnesses even called or summoned, so we can't have a trial where there's no witnesses. I have the right to call witness under my Sixth Amendment in my favor, and so we can't have a trial in 6 days. That would be a mistrial, even if they did try to. And it's fine. If the courts want to do this, the court's going to do whatever they're going to do, but they should immediately open the case. The case never been opened up. You're complaining about the lack of speedy trials. The reason your trial hasn't gotten your case hasn't gotten a trial is your fault. That's on you because you can't get along with any attorney. So you're going to go, if you want a speedy trial, you're going to have a speedy trial. It's going to be next week. Mr. Charles, did you have anything you want to say? I have some serious about the case going to trial next week. My goal is to try this once. I think if it goes to trial next week, it's going to be tried multiple times. But I'm not in a position. I don't know if here's my concern, Mr. Charles, and that is that, yeah, we can appoint a third attorney. I know the exact same thing is going to happen.
Say the same thing.
I guess my preference would be, in my experience, the attorney is out of luck, yes. But I don't think the court has had a call with Mr. Werner about proceeding without an attorney. It just happens again.
Without an attorney. We're going to try to make you proceed without an attorney.
That would be my preference, that Mr. Werner get another attorney, and he'd be admonished that if this keeps happening, he might have to proceed without an attorney. I think that would be a well-reasoned thing right now.
They just violated, probably this is, I don't even know if this has ever been done before in an open court, guys. They just said I have to represent myself. He said I didn't know what I was talking about, but I have to represent myself. That judge is going to be he's going to lose his position as on the bench for what he just did. He said I didn't know what I was talking about, but he's going to make me represent myself without even looking in the case. He didn't even know the case.
I'm just concerned that I'm talking to a brick wall. Mr. Werner, are you able to hear all that? I'm able to hear you, but remember, I still have the right to due process, and that's been failed. So I suggest the state drop the case immediately. Mr. Werner, I just asked you a question. You answered the question. So, do you want to represent yourself in this case? Do you want to be your own attorney? Remember, under my Fifth Amendment, I have the right to adequate counsel immediately drop the case.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to give you a third chance with another attorney, with understanding that if the same thing happens, if you butt into what the attorney's doing, if you try to micromanage what the attorney's doing, if you try to impose your lack of legal knowledge on an attorney, then the same thing is going to happen. The attorney's going to say, I don't want to have anything to do with you. I don't want to commit malpractice by trying to represent this person in court. And then you'll be on your own. Then you'll be representing yourself. Do you understand that?
Bye-bye,
You
Judge.
understand my son and daughter are missing, possibly murdered, sir?
No, Mr. Werner, don't talk gibberish to me. Just answer the question.
Mr. Werner, don't talk gibberish to me about the murder. I say murder, and he tells me it's gibberish, guys. Keep listening.
But I reported this to the law enforcement.
What I said. Yeah, Mr. Werner, it's a simple question. You get a third attorney, but if you can't get along with that attorney, we have the same motion to withdraw for the same type of reason that you're trying to do all these nutty things.
It's nutty to say that my daughter is dead, potentially, and my son is dead. That's nutty.
So, Mr. Werner, you interrupt me one more time, Mr. Werner, I'm going to hold you in contempt. I'm going to bring you down from wherever you are and put you back in jail.
He's going to put me in jail again.
Don't interrupt me. So, my question was simple. Do you understand? It's the same thing.
Listen to this.
Mr. Werner, it's a simple question. You get a third attorney, but if you can't get along with that attorney, we have the same motion to withdraw for the same type of reason that you're trying to do all these nutty things.
It's nutty to say that my daughter is dead, potentially, and my son is dead. That's nutty.
So, Mr. Werner, you interrupt me one more time, Mr. Werner, I'm going to hold you in contempt. I'm going to bring you down from wherever you are and put you back in jail. Don't interrupt me. So, my question was simple. Do you understand that if the same thing happens with this third attorney that I'm not ready to let you have, the same thing happens if the attorney says, he's making irrational demands on me, etc., then you're going to be representing yourself at trial. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yes or no? Okay, so that's my word. I'll withdraw what I said earlier. I'll appoint a new attorney for Mr. Werner with understanding that you better get along with this attorney. You better be ready.
I'll appoint an attorney. Another Josephine County. This case is over, brothers and sisters.
Trial. Well, nobody's made a motion to continue the trial unless you're Charles, are you going to make a motion? I'll make a more motion in the final right, but we continue. Mechanically, no PDC would be appointed, so Mr. Werner goes on the list. For recess.
They don't say shit to me. Listen. Nothing. That's it. Trampled my rights, guys. Threatened to throw me in jail again. They don't want to hear that my son and daughter are dead or missing. Hear that? They ain't hear nothing. This judge was signed from Josephine County. Did you hear what they did to me? Were you witness to that? Could you hear that? Okay, I know it was a little bit, because that's I can't believe what just happened. This judge, I had no idea, guys, that this judge I was talking to was from the county where my son, I think he was murdered. I didn't know that, guys. I had no idea what he was from that. And he said he's going to assign the judge is going to assign another attorney. Did you hear that? They were going to make Paul Palmer go to, did you guys see that? He was going to make me go to trial. He was going to make me go to trial, guys. Did you hear that? He denied Paul Palmer. Paul Palmer quit 3 months ago. That's inadequate counsel. He didn't even call in the other day. He forgot to call in. At my pretrial, the attorney they called quit. He just forgot to call in months ago. And then he forgot to call in to the pretrial. And then this judge said, no, you're going to be his attorney anyways. Even though he has, guys, I just named Officer Black, because he's from Lake County. I named Richard Greer because he's the head of probation over here. I named Lily Frank because she's from probation over here. I named Ryan Sober because he's from probation over there. There's a list of 40 people, plus all the SWAT team has to come out, plus all the Lake County police officers that is involved in this case. So does my son and daughter. They're going to take me to trial without even my son and daughter being there. And the whole case is about my son. Nutty. He called me nutty. Yeah, nutty because I said my son was dead or missing. I didn't say kidnapped this time. I wanted to say dead, so they understand that I haven't heard from him, and he's been missing from the state police's mouth since September. So that's almost a year he's been missing. And he has had no contact. And remember when I called Josephine County, guys, they threatened me with arrest. And now you just see what this judge did from Josephine County. Something's going on with that county that my son was kidnapped and my daughter or killed in. And they don't want to look at this case, guys. They're going to come out here and do something nefarious. I don't want to put any bad juju, but I can already feel it, that they are in a bad way. You heard me. How many times I tell them to drop this case? How many opportunities do I give them to walk themselves out of this? But I have to file a lawsuit, guys. I don't want to ask you this, but I need somebody to start a GoFundMe, a crowdsource. I need help, guys. I need to file a lawsuit. So you don't have to. Please don't feel obligated, but I will take a donation now. I have to do something, guys. And it's fine. It is. It's going to be a struggle. Trust me. It's not going to be easy. None of this, Father's not going to make any of this easy for me at all. So I'm beside myself after that. I feel like my son and daughter are definitely missing and dead now. I really would not like to have discovered that Pat Wolke is a Josephine County judge that drove 4 hours over here who knows nothing of this case and should have no reason to preside over whether, Paul Palmer continues as my attorney or not. Guys, they are trying to get rid of this fucking case. They need to get rid of me to cover up this fucking potential death, murder, homicide. This case is excessive force, attempted murder on hitting me in the face. You can't hit me in the face with a grenade. You can't do that no matter what. Didn't even matter the prior. You can't just come throw a grenade at my face. I remember there was two grenades, two of them. That means that they hit my daughter with a grenade. My daughter was grenaded without a warrant. And I wanted to say that, guys, in court, but you see how close I was from being thrown in contempt of court. And it doesn't matter. If you don't agree with them, they'll throw you in contempt of court until you're interrupting them. So I'm not in a good way, guys. I'm not. I'm telling you, the things are not looking very good for me right now. So they are, because this is that's $50 million lawsuit right there. That's $50 lawsuit right there. That judge should never serve another day on the bench. What he just did to me was hazed me. He hazed. Wow, guys, that judge, if I not speak up and say to him, you can't have a case. No, you're not going to have a case without even calling any juries. You haven't even summoned. Nobody's received a jury summons yet, guys. Nobody's received a jury summons for this case. You know what I'm saying? There's been no attorney, hasn't done anything. So there will be no case. So as I told him, you do whatever you want, man. You guys, and that's why you heard the district attorney say, I feel like if I take this, I'm going to have to try it more than one time. I want to try it once. That's a mistrial, guys. That's a mistrial. I need somebody to make a call to some outside agency. Somebody I can't make. The calls don't work for me. I've called everybody I can call. This just took a massive turn for the worse, actually. This doesn't help my situation with my son and daughter being alive now. I don't feel as if they are now. I really feel why I feel such a blank here now. And I feel like they're gone. Maybe my daughter's here somewhere, but I don't think my son is here. I don't think he's here. I don't feel him here. And I've always been able to, not like that. I mean, we don't never gone, just not very long without talking to each other. I was his dad and mom for 8 years. I mean, I was a single parent for, we have a good relationship, and we've had fallouts and stuff. That's just because we have disagreements. We're both, apple don't fall far from the tree. Sometimes we'd butt heads just because we're too much alike. If you know what I'm saying. You get tired of looking at yourself in the mirror all day. So they don't care that you hear them. They don't want to address anything about the murder of my son. They don't care. They don't stop the hey, look, listen, Tracy, I know this is upsetting, but we're going to have to get this case through. If your son has been murdered, they just don't care. They don't care, man. They don't care. Nobody will advocate for Elijah. Or if they put me in jail, guys, I'm done. Elijah and Adron are just going to disappear into the nothing. Their case will die out. Nobody will advocate for him. His mom's never going to advocate him. We don't have any blood that doesn't care, obviously, because nobody's helped him out this far. Nobody's me and go, are you doing all right, man? I know you're dad and you don't do the holiday thing, but you must miss your son, man. He's been a long time and where's dad? And nobody gives a crap about Elijah or Adriana. I can't believe that her family hasn't contacted me. Step forward. Nobody has come to advocate for Elijah. So you see why I have to stand my ground, guys. This is not good for me, man. I'm there's nothing. They set me in limbo again. And now what's going on with Elijah? The whole thing is to get the whole case settled with me so they'll drop Elijah's charges because I jumped his charges. Okay, you want to throw him in jail? Well, you're going to have to look at the evidence then. I'm the evidence. Fuck you. You're not putting him in jail. You want to put him in jail, you're going to have to go through me. And if you want to look at me, in my case, you're going to have to look at my son's evidence because you're going to arrest me because you say he didn't do his community service. And here's all the proof he did. I'm going to live stream for 258 hours, 17 days straight, and just throw it all in your face, all the evidence of everything I have. You choose to throw it into the courts, that's your problem. But at this point in time, there's no reason for it to go to the courts. Here's all the evidence. Innocent until proven guilty. Then they just came out and gang stalked the shit out of us. Like I said, my daughter was fearing, thought she's going to lose her life out here, get shot. Her husband might get shot, and he did. He got shot with his hands in the air. My son was shot with his hands in the air. They haven't even looked at this. I guarantee you that judge, Wolke, he ain't never looked at this, live stream. Paul Palmer never looked at Paul Palmer's seen it, but the whatever Paul, the other, whatever he said his name was, Caracas or whatever his name, the judge didn't even know his name. No, she don't care. She doesn't care. She won't even look at I think she was threatened by the police. I think she's threatened by the police to keep her mouth shut because she said she didn't know anything about Elijah or my daughter. And I tried. I hadn't spoken to her. When I showed up to my son's trial and I hadn't had anybody to contact except for Marshall, the guy who I think killed my son and daughter. There's the only person that I knew. I had to go to his mom. I said, look, this is our son. I haven't had any contact with you. He's been over here. He's where you live. I'm way over there. You have not contacted me. What the hell's going on? What's going on with our son? How did he miss his trial? I had everything going for this. You know what I'm saying? No, not like that. No. I don't think he does. No. There's no relation there. I don't think Elijah would ever brought him. Elijah was just doing his job, guys. Elijah didn't get no PV for 42 months. And after 42 months, it was just because they said he didn't do his probation. And he already did it. And then when he said he didn't, he started doing it again. All over again. What a good man. What a good man to sit there and put his head down and do it all over again. And let the system do what it's supposed to do. Here I am. 5 years later, guys. This case starts back in 2020 with these 180 hours. This judge just tried to railroad me today. I hope you understand what you just witnessed. This is a lawsuit. That is a massive lawsuit. That judge should never serve on the bench ever again. What he just did to me without knowing the case at all, without knowing anything about, Phil Studenberg, how he took them 6 months to get an attorney to even look and open the case. He opened up and said, I can't do this. And said, I got an attorney-client privilege breakdown. Because I was telling him, I got grenaded to the face. Look at this. This case is not, where are you going with this? He never sent an investigator out to do anything. Never once did I get any kind of investigator, summons, nothing. No conversation was ever been done. whatever. I already, if you can't hear it, I apologize. Can't. So they're going to be so pissed that this was recorded, guys. But I guarantee you, if I didn't, have a friend here that had my back, that I didn't know him, but knowing me, even recording it, I wouldn't have the recording, and they would have not given me the recording. If I would have asked them for the recording in court, I would have been, nope, it didn't show up that day. We didn't have it. Something was wrong with the audio. How much you want to bet that's what happened? I bet you, how about if I ask an attorney for a copy of that day, they won't be able to give me a copy of that court date? How much you want to bet they won't be able to give me a copy of that court date today? If I asked them for a copy of the court date, I get a new attorney and ask them that there will be no audio available. So they really made, this is a massive turn for the worse, guys. Seriously, it is. It's not a good thing. This is not a good thing. Assigning the judge from the county where my son could be murdered and missing, and my daughter could potentially be put and kidnapped, and they already kidnapped my daughter one time without warrant, and shot my son with his hands in the air, grenaded my daughter as well. I never knew that they grenaded my daughter. I never knew they grenaded Adriana. If I didn't know they were grenaded Adriana in the beginning, I would have dealt with this whole case, well, the same way. It just shows they have excessive force from the. They came out and threw a grenade in the place where my son and daughter was sleeping and woke them up like that. That's what woke me up. I immediately went live because I told my son they were coming that night. 45 seconds after them showing up here, that you don't hear anything from them. Nothing. There's no noise, nothing coming from nothing. I go to the door, I open up the door, and I ask if my son is okay, and I get hit in the face with a grenade. Case closed. Excessive force, attempted murder, just an extreme use of force, and they'd already hit my daughter, and she didn't have a warrant for her. They should have never thrown that grenade where she was sleeping. That is, Elijah wasn't a threat to them. That's crazy. So what a negligence, and what I experienced today was horrible. What a horrible day it was today. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Stoner Connection. I can't even believe I can't just, I'm so beside myself. I think my son and daughter are gone now. I can't think that Elijah's still alive. I think they're hiding the death of him, hoping that I'll go to prison and they can just get rid of me, and they'll be able to sweep that under the rug before it ever gets brought to light, because it's just been swept under the rug for so long. So I know that my daughter's case against her, because they had no case, and with felonies and a misdemeanor, and that's crazy. She did nothing of the sort and had lost her job, and so try to go have a meeting with the today. It was busy. I have another, I'm definitely going to file a lawsuit now. I don't have any choice. You heard me say it in open court, so I'm going to probably have to come up with put this Ecuador money on hold for a minute and get myself counsel so I can figure out if my son is dead or not. And because they're going to try to convict me. If you didn't see what they just tried to do, they just tried to send me to court in 6 days without even having a jury selected or no witnesses called or nothing. The attorney's not prepared. It's just do your best. Just do your best to represent him. And my son's not even there. The whole case is about my son, and I don't call my son to witness. Guys, that's insane. This is insane. This is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't know if you even understand what you just heard. That is a violation of that is a violation of so many rights. Even the judge is supposed to provide me, up there as kind of counsel me along, irregardless. You know what I'm saying? Indicate nothing, denies me, doesn't want to listen to my sons. How would they put a judge from do you realize Josephine County is 4 hours away from Lakeview. 4 hours. A 4-hour drive. How many miles is that? And this is the county that my son supposedly and my daughter are kidnapped, potentially murdered in. And they're going to bring a judge in from this case. Guys, I don't know what else to do. I'm trying to do everything. I can't do no more days like this, guys. Today, I mean, I will, but just, I'm beat, guys. That just took the life out of me. It put all the wind out of my sail. It took every bit of me to sit there and be quiet. You know what I'm saying? I was quiet. I got threatened over and over. He said he's going to come out here and arrest me from where I'm at and put me back in jail. After I said my son and daughter are dead. You know, I got to get an answer on whether they're alive or dead, guys. How do I keep saying this and nobody ever comes and talks to me? Nobody's ever come from any agency and said, hey, you know, we've done it. Nobody. So I need to hire a private investigator. I need to do something here. And it sucks that this is going to come down to, because I was actually, and I don't mean to go there, avoid to have to pay money for this case. They're the one who did this. Remember, instead of taking the money and buying myself an attorney, I paid the ministry off so that the ministry, if I ended up going to prison or they came out here and killed me, that I would still have, you know, have taken care of in a place the ministry can still serve without me. The ministry doesn't need me to be the ministry. I'm just one dude standing here in the pulpit who loves the word. He made me love it, not me. You know, I'm a space brain. I got my mind on a million things, but he really makes me love the word more than anything. And so, you know, I'm just beside myself. You know, I need to make a step forward on whether Elijah is dead or alive. And I need to find if my daughter's dead or alive, and nobody will help me. I got nobody. And you see what they keep doing to me. They're trying to throw me in prison or get rid of me so that they can cover up for my son and my daughter's murder. I know that Marshall has something to do with it. Why will nobody answer me? Why will nobody even look into this? Why will nobody help me? Because God wants it that way. That's why. And it's all right. Just, it's hard to do, guys. You're right, but man, I want to be strong, and you see, I am. Father makes me strong in the moment, but that just buries me after something like that. Thinking that I'm gonna, maybe something's gonna happen. I'm gonna find out finally what's going on. I'm gonna take a step forward in this case, and then, oh yeah, we'll put you in trial. You think what would have happened in 6 days from now, guys? Paul Palmer has nobody summons. My daughter's not there. My son's not there. They would have just convicted me, thrown me in prison. Father stepped in. I hope you've seen Father. If you ever need to see proof of a God, there you go again, working through me. They were adamant about putting me in. They brought this judge over from 4 hours away, guys. 4 hours, you know, 4 hours away. That's a whole 8-hour day from a completely different county. That's 4 hours, not the adjacent county, 4 hours away. What the hell? They're covering this up, guys. I'm telling you, this is a cover-up. They're covering up something that's in Elijah and Adriana's case. That's why I think Elijah went missing. Something happened back then to my son and daughter. Something happened to my son and daughter back in September. So thank you for being a witness, because I'm just a little beside myself. I don't know where this case is going now. I feel like they're going to bring guns out here and just light this place up like Swiss cheese, guys. I really do. I feel threatened for my life. I feel 100%. And it is what it is. If I die, I die. Just like I said, if Elijah's dead, he's dead. At least he doesn't have to suffer. I know he would hopefully like to be with this old lady, you know, have a life. They tried hard to make it work. And this is me who is why Elijah had, you know, the problems he had. Elijah did everything he was supposed to do ×2, you know. So Elijah did his time. He got in trouble. He went to jail. 5 guys all involved in the same exact thing, and he's the only one that got in trouble. Well, no, he's the only one to go to jail. Not all of them got charges, but they all did it. All the kids got charges. Well, there was a minor child and all the teenagers, but the 41-year-old rapist never served a day in jail. Never got a charge. The guy that led the whole damn thing. You know? So, it is what it is, man. I am just, I don't know where their move is next, guys, with this. So they throw me in a pool, and maybe they can just let this go for 6 months and act like it's just going to go away and hope I fuck up and do something stupid, and they can arrest me on a new charge. That's what OOPD. That guy said he's going to assign me. I think that judge stepped on his dick again. I think Pat Wolke is gonna face criminal charges for what he did to me. Do you think what was just done there criminal? Do you think he just witnessed a criminal act by that judge? You know what I'm saying? I cannot believe they would bring a judge in for that doesn't even know anything about the case to make a ruling on whether the attorney could quit or not. In 6 days, there's a trial where the attorney, guys, I have the records. Here, right here. I keep all this is documented. These people are fucking stupid. I apologize for cursing, guys. Okay, our relationship cannot continue. This says, I'm going to file a motion that don't have credible basis. It would be a violation of my ethical obligation as a lawyer. It would help you if you feel it necessary to speak to the bar. However, in light of that, I'm going to suspend communication and I'll be filing a motion to withdraw. A motion to withdraw. He's going to file a motion to withdraw back on May 1st, guys. May 1st. Basically April. You know, April. At the end of April, May, June, July. I haven't been counseled in 3 months at least, and he didn't give me any counsel prior then. He quit almost 3 months ago, but forgot to file the motions with the courts. He forgot to file the motion with the courts. And then he forgot to call at my pretrial. And this judge comes in and said, nope, you're going to be his attorney anyways, and you're going to trial in 6 days. Did you just witness that, guys? That judge was going to send me to trial. If I didn't stand up and I was some lay down like most people get all scared when they go to, and for yes, sir, no, sir, yes, your honor, no, your honor. I let a couple sir slip out every once in a while, but normally I'll grovel to these people. So let's listen to it one more time, guys. I'm not going to stay on here all night. I'm beside myself, guys. I am just floored. I fear for my safety. I fear for my son's safety, my daughter's safety, our well-being, my animals' well-being. And I don't feel very good right now, guys, about this. I don't want to bring in any bad juju, but this isn't a good turn, guys. This is a horrible turn for the worse that this case took a massive turn today. They really threw everything they had at it today, guys. And Father stood in and put a kibosh in on them again. So I should feel thankful and blessed that, I know Father will protect. My day of death's already written. I'm not fearing death. This isn't good, guys. Like I said, this kind of confirms what I've been investigating now I'm the only one investigating the death of my son and daughter or the potential kidnapping of my son and daughter. You can see that I've obviously reported it a long time ago. I reported this to the police many months ago. You know what I'm saying? And if you look, he said that I would have to represent myself in court, guys. That judge I don't think a judge has ever said that in open court, that you have to represent yourself. If you don't get along with your attorney, he don't know the case. Marshall Radonich or the Josephine County Police Department has something to do with it. 100%. I know it's them, those guys. I know. Why would they send a judge from Josephine County over here? This is supposedly where my son and daughter were kidnapped, potentially taken to the gold mines and raped, murdered, and I have given them all the evidence. Here's 40 pounds of silver this guy stole from me. Here's the motive. He said he had it, and then he gave it to my daughter, and I said, I'm going to talk to my daughter. Unbeknown to me, I think he killed my daughter because I said that. I didn't mean to say it to him like that. I don't think, how would I be responsible? I didn't know by telling him, hey, one day, Marshall, this case is going to get dropped, and you say you had my silver, but I'm going to talk to her one day. Just, I want to take my dog and go. You know, I didn't want to argue. My dog looked like he'd been just absolutely, it should have taken him to the vet and documented his horrible, deplorable conditions after months of trying to get my dog back from this guy. You know, he had to be taken out of the house. He was coughing for weeks. He just couldn't hang in here. He's not, Bone is 5 years old, you know, in a new body, but Tango's 13. He just, lungs couldn't handle it. Like, my lungs are fucked. You know, like I said, I apologize. It is what it is. But let's listen to this one more time. We'll go through this so you can, like I said, keep in mind, I have no idea that this judge that I'm about ready to talk to, they let me go on the phone. They said that I couldn't record it, and I said that I wouldn't, and I didn't know that Kevin recorded the recording. So, and he has that right. You know, what a good dude, right? So, don't matter if I recorded it or not. I have the right of affirmative defense to protect myself from legal prosecution. So let's listen to this disgusting, you know, filthy thing that they did to me today. Just violated and trampled on my rights. And then I don't get anywhere with the death of my son or daughter. And nobody ever wants to tell me anything about how they're doing. I don't know. I don't know how. I think Marshall is involved in it. Rain Man. I think it all has to do with Marshall Radonich, somebody that I'd known and Elijah knew, how somehow got in our lives, which crazy. He bought something for me off the internet. Food. I was selling freeze-dried Skittles. Okay. I had a freeze dryer, so I was selling freeze-dried Skittles. And Elijah already knew him. It's like he seated himself up in Elijah's life, got a hold of me, and then planted himself, you know, and I think he works for the feds. Like, I think Paul Palmer's a fed. I don't think he's an attorney. You can look up, he has a bar number, but his name is not Paul Palmer. It's Raphael Ahmed, or like he's some, I don't know who he is, but he hasn't provided me any counsel. So let's listen to this again, guys. And then I'm not better stay on here too long, guys. I'm absolutely, like I said, I don't mean to do that, but I've had a massive, you know, dump of, you know, my body's just, it's toast right now, guys. I feel like it just spent all day in the field, 12, you know, hours out in the field being, all right, here we go.
Or your profile telephone number, followed by pound. If you don't know your attendee ID or
Remember, I have a SWAT raid to all live stream. I have it all live stream, guys. I have almost everything documented.
He was working on
Yes.
That's me joining. I'm trying. It'll get a little clearer. Hold on. Take the cover off the phone so it's a little better. Come on, hurry up. All right, it takes a minute. I apologize. I don't know how to get the darn thing to pop up the. I just speed up here a little bit. They're coming in a minute. All right, here we go. Charis. He doesn't even know the Jesus name.
Tracy Werner. Mr. Werner is with us. My telephone, Mr. Werner, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
And Mr. Palmer is here. My telephone, Mr. Palmer, can you hear me okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Charles is here in person. We're hearing Mr. Palmer's motion to withdraw as Mr. Werner's attorney. Mr. Palmer, would you like to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. The attorney-client relationship between I and Mr. Werner has degraded to the point I don't think we'll be able to repair it. Because of that and his adamant statements about trial, I believe it's best he proceed with alternative counsel.
And could you give me a little more detail as to what's going on between you and Mr. Werner?
Yes, I believe that the essential disagreement stems from I was exploring some issues on which I had indicated I would file a motion, ultimately at the culmination.
Why is it not playing? Why is it not playing? What?
Josephine County, I did.
Okay, hold on. Why did you?
Yes.
Why did you stop playing?
And could you give me a little more detail as to Palmer is here? My telephone, Mr. Palmer, can you hear me okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Charles is here in person. We're hearing Mr. Palmer's motion to withdraw as Mr. Werner's attorney. Mr. Palmer, would you like to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. The attorney-client relationship between I and Mr. Werner has degraded to the point I don't think we'll be able to repair it. Because of that and his adamant statements about trial, I believe it's best he proceed with alternative counsel.
And could you give me a little more detail as to what's going on between you and Mr. Werner?
I believe that the essential disagreement stems from I was exploring some issues on which I had indicated I would file a motion. Ultimately, at the culmination of my research, I determined that motion would not be meritorious. I believe that was very frustrating in Mr. Werner.
Hey, Mr. Werner, what's your take on all this?
I have been denied. It's been 407 days. My right of due process has been failed. I was grenaded to the face, and I have not received any counsel. So Paul Palmer's never given me any actual counsel. I reported that my son could be murdered and missing to the Josephine County, and he did not follow up after the Josephine County. I did report that my son could be murdered or missing. My daughter, to him, I have it all recorded, and he's not following up. I also did record that
Mr. Werner, Judge Wolke here. I don't know what you're talking about. What's the problem between you and your attorney right now?
He's not provided me any counsel. I can legally show you he's provided zero counsel for me. So he's failed my Fifth Amendment right of due process and adequate counsel. So he's not adequate counsel. He's provided me nothing. You'll see nothing on the record. So he's done nothing. He even forgot to call in the other day. So he's definitely not adequate counsel.
You quit talking, I'm talking now, okay? What I know is that this allegation arose back in May of 2024, so we're way late on this case going.
It should be dismissed immediately.
Mr. Werner, don't interrupt me again or else I'm going to hold you in contempt. So initially you had Mr. Studenberg as your attorney. He had to withdraw because for the same reason put forth by Mr. Palmer, and that is that the two of you couldn't get along, and I suspect it was, given the fact that it's happening again, I suspect it was your doing and not Mr. Studenberg. And now Mr. Palmer's in the same position of wanting to withdraw for a breakdown of the attorney-client privilege, or the attorney-client relationship. So what you have to understand is, if you want to have an attorney, you have to understand that the attorney has a lot more more legal expertise and knowledge than you do. And if the attorney is under an ethical obligation not to file frivolous motions. And so if your attorney says, I just can't file this motion even though you want me to because it is obviously frivolous, then that's not lack of representation. That's good job as your attorney. So I know that it's set for trial next week. This is an old case. It needs to go to trial. So Mr. Palmer, I'm going to deny your motion to withdraw. I want you to do your very best for Mr. Werner. And Mr. Werner, I would advise you, if you don't want to have a bad result in trial, to just take your attorney's advice during the trial.
Okay, sir, do I have the right to call witness? Do I have the right to adequate counsel? Do I have the right to speedy trial? Do I have my Fifth Amendment right to adequate counsel? I've not been provided that. I have a very large list. How have they even gone through and looked for a jury selection at this point? So there's been nothing filed. If they want to do that, that's fine. I'll go ahead and file a lawsuit then at this point, and I have to do it for, they haven't even, I was grenaded to the face, and that should drop the case immediately. And I was provided counsel by Dan Spencer, my son's attorney. That's co-counsel. I know this case very well, and that's fine. But Paul Palmer's not adequate counsel, and I can prove that. He can't go to trial. He hasn't done anything. He has not provided any witness. Is Ryan Solver going to be there? Is Lily Frank going to be there? Is Richard Greer going to be there? Is Officer Black going to be there? There's been no witnesses even called or summoned, so we can't have a trial where there's no witnesses. I have the right to call witness under my Sixth Amendment in my favor, and so we can't have a trial in 6 days. That would be a mistrial, even if they did try to. And it's fine. If the courts want to do this, the court's going to do whatever they're going to do, but they should immediately open the case. The case never even opened up.
You're complaining about the lack of speedy trials. The reason your trial hasn't gone to your case hasn't gone to trial is your fault.
It's my fault.
On you because you can't get along with any attorney. So you're going to go, if you want a speedy trial, you're going to have a speedy trial. It's going to be next week.
Next week.
Charles, if you have anything you want to say. I have concerns about the case going to trial next week. I think my goal is to try this once. I think if it goes to trial next week, it's going to be tried multiple times.
The district attorney just backed out.
I don't know, here's my concern, Mr. Charles, and that is that, yeah, we can appoint a third attorney. I know the exact same thing's going to happen.
He said the same thing's going to happen.
I guess my preference would be, in my experience, two attorneys is not a lot yet. I don't think the court has had a call with Mr. Warner about proceeding without an attorney as fast as they can. That's what the state wants, that's what I'll do. That would be my preference, that Mr. Warner get another attorney, and he be admonished that if this keeps happening, he might have to proceed without an attorney. I think that would be a well-rated thing right now. I'm just concerned that I'm talking to a brick wall. Mr. Warner, are you able to hear all that?
I'm able to hear you, but remember, I still have the right to due process, and that's been failed. So I suggest the state drop the case immediately.
Mr. Warner, my turn to talk. I just asked you a question. You answered the question. So, do you want to represent yourself in this case? Do you want to be your own attorney?
Remember, under my Fifth Amendment, I have the right to adequate counsel and right to due process. So immediately drop the case.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to give you a third chance with another attorney with understanding that if the same thing happens, if you butt into what the attorney's doing, if you try to micromanage what the attorney's doing, if you try to impose your lack of legal knowledge on an attorney, then the same thing is going to happen. The attorney's going to say, I don't want to have anything to do with you. I don't want to commit malpractice by trying to represent this person in court. And then you'll be on your own. Then you'll be representing yourself. Do you understand that?
Yes, do you understand my son and daughter are missing, possibly murdered, sir?
No, Mr. Werner, don't talk gibberish to me. Just answer the question.
But I reported this to the law enforcement.
That's what I said. Yeah. Mr. Werner, it's a simple question. You get a third attorney, but if you can't get along with that attorney, we have the same motion withdraw for the same type good reason that you're trying to do all these nutty things.
Nutty things.
It's nutty to say that my daughter is dead, potentially, and my son is dead. That's nutty.
So, Mr. Werner, you interrupt me one more time, Mr. Werner, I'm going to hold you in contempt. I'm going to bring you down from wherever you are and put you back in jail.
I'm gonna put you back in jail.
Don't interrupt me. So, my question was simple. Do you understand that the same thing happens with this third attorney that I'm about ready to let you have? The same thing happens with the attorney says, he's making irrational demands on me, etc. Then you're going to be representing yourself at trial.
I'm gonna be representing myself at trial.
Yes or no? Okay, so that's my word. I'll withdraw what I said earlier. I'll appoint a new attorney for Mr. Werner with understanding that you better get along with this attorney. You better be ready to go to trial. Well, nobody's made a motion to continue the trial unless your Charles are going to make a motion. I'll make a more motion to file and let those be continued. Mechanically, no PDC would be appointed. So that
You're gonna put me back in the pool. So I know it's a little hard to hear. Maybe some of you made it out, but again, this is documentation I have now against a continual, a whole nother judge stepped in from the county that my son was. No, the attorneys have to do something, Artipane. They got to do something, and they haven't done anything. Did you hear what I said? This attorney didn't even show up to court the other day. He forgot to show up to court. Then he didn't even call. And then they called him, and he said, oh, well, I apologize. I forgot. And then I actually quit back in May, remember? And I forgot to call in. That's inadequate counsel. That there gets the case dropped immediately. There's so many things in this case that gets this case dropped immediately. So I haven't not gotten along with them. It's bullshit. They're not getting along with me because they're not doing anything. And they're getting upset because I just won't take a deal. This is how they do this. I'm sure this works for 98% of the people. It doesn't work on me. I'm not afraid of some idiot in the black robe that doesn't know the case. He doesn't know this case, but obviously they sent him over here from 4 hours away. This is a conflict of interest now. They stepped on their dick. They'll never take me to trial. I'll never go to trial. They'll never take me to trial. You're looking at a $50 million lawsuit right there. If you were able to make out anything that I just showed you, that's $50 million lawsuit. Minimum. I would no way in hell would I ever settle for any less than $50 million after what that judge did to me. I sat there and told him that my son from the county that he's from, why the hell would they send a judge from a county that my missing son and murdered son is from? Because they're covering it up. Absolutely deprivation of rights, inadequate counsel, right of due process, fair and speedy trial, call witness in my favor. They don't even have any witnesses called. There's been no jury summons sent out. No jury sent out. You heard me. This guy was going to railroad this case through in 6 days, probably without a jury. They probably just come stack a bunch of people in there that they wanted. Their buddies, go show up, man. We'll pay $100 each. Just go, we'll put you in the thing. And just at the end, we'll just slam the gavel. You guys pick up your $100. We'll meet you out at the lake at the end of the day. This is a hell. This place so corrupt. What did that lady say? You could be a jury. You could be a member at your own jury, trial. Guys, look it. They don't have anybody summons. My son is the reason why the whole case is. And he's not going to be there? My son's not going to be at my case? There's the judge, the attorney hasn't done anything. That was an illegal proceeding, which you just witnessed. That is all illegal. You know what I'm saying? Isn't it crazy what you just witnessed? That is criminal. And that judge is going to have to pay for what he did today. Try to throw me in with an attorney. If I didn't speak up, guys, I'd be in 6 days. I will go through trial and be looking at probably 20 years of prison. In 6 days from now. If I didn't speak up, if Father didn't protect me, It allowed me to speak up. Is he still continuing to threaten me with arrest, contempt? I'm nutty. You're like talking to a wall. You know, all these things he's saying. What do they call that? He said it was nutty because I said my daughter and son were potentially murdered. And then when I said that, he said, I'm going to throw you. I'm going to come where you're at and throw you in jail. How many times did I get, yeah, didn't he though? I mean, that's not me, Art of Pain. That's Father who steps in. Remember, do not worry about you. Luke 12:11. Oh, you be without counsel, and they'll throw you in front of their magistrates and their men in their black robes and their synagogues, right? Do not worry what you shall say. I will give you the answer. So Father always overtakes me and allows me to continue and not worry about, oh my God, I'm going to get thrown. I better be subservient to this man. I just keep getting myself in more and more, ungrace with these people. They hate me. I am probably the biggest enemy in the state of Oregon right now. I don't think that the state of Oregon has a bigger problem than Tracy Werner right now. I guarantee there's not. This goes public. It's over. This takes down now multiple judges. Several judges will lose their job in this case. Multiple district attorneys, multiple elected sheriffs will go to prison. Police officers, probation officers. This has been a very, very massive case. Every one of those SWAT officers should serve time. Who threw the grenade at my daughter? They came in and threw a grenade at my daughter before they even threw a grenade at me. That's how a concussion grenade. They concussed my daughter. I think something's wrong with my daughter and son. I think they may have succumbed to some kind of problem, guys. They didn't get taken to the hospital. They went to jail. They shot my son when his hands were in the air. They grenaded my son. So, this is excessive force. This is attempted murder. This is my daughter. They didn't even have a warrant for her arrest, and they grenaded her. That's why they dropped her charges back in September. I think they know how bad they fucked this case up, guys. And they're trying to cover it up because they can't, this is a massive lawsuit. There are so many lawsuits in this case. It doesn't even, it wouldn't even be fathomable how many people would be removed from their jobs and would not have a job after this case. And I think if they can get rid of all, dead people don't, show up to court to trial, correct? Where's my son at? Where's my daughter at? I've already reported where they were missing at in Josephine County, and the guy who stole them, and now they just assigned a Josephine County judge to my case. This reeks of murder. This reeks of foul play. This reeks of that I'm not wrong. Damn it, I knew something wasn't right in this case. I knew it, guys. I'm telling you, Marshall's involved. Marshall knows something about it, and I've said it. That's why I try to get the police to go there, that this guy has my son. He's involved with the death or the murder or the kidnapping of my son and my daughter. And I call Josephine County and I get threatened with arrest. That's what I mentioned to Paul Palmer. I called the attorney and said, call these people. My son is here. My daughter's here. He's supposed to be showing up to his court case. Here he is. They got a warrant for his arrest. I don't want him to, I don't want to have to call the cops on him, but I need to make sure his wife is okay. He'll be all right. Even if they get, they already shot him once and he's still here. So Father will protect him again. But I'm concerned about my daughter. She could be getting raped every day. And my son could be held at gunpoint. If you say anything about it, I'll do something. I don't know. I know that they both were grenaded, though. Both of them were grenaded, and neither of them did anything. So there's lawsuits just against this SWAT officer who threw this one hand grenade, and this one hand grenade is completely different officer. We need to know which officers threw which one. That's what I'm saying. There's been no legal representation on the excessive force, potential attempted murder case of Tracy Werner. Elijah Werner shot with his hands in the air. Adriana hand grenaded. I don't know if neither of them have a concussion. Maybe they had concussions, guys, and they both, something happened to them. I couldn't figure out, how could this guy have something over my son and daughter like that? How would, at least over my son? He had a concussion. Hello, from day one. Probably never went to the hospital like me. So, man, what a day. Thanks for being a witness. I don't even know how to react to this, guys. So I have to get an attorney, guys. I have to file this lawsuit now. That's the only option that I have. I'm going to have to file a lawsuit. So it's going to cost a lot of money. Hopefully the land will sell here soon. It's the right time of year. Maybe Father's holding out for somebody to buy this land. So the right person. I've lowered it down $10,000 from my original price. So maybe somebody will buy it and I can hire a lawsuit attorney. So I'll also be hiring a criminal attorney. I'm not going to let them appoint an attorney. If I can hire one before, they can hire one, which took them 6 months to get the first one, and about another 3 or 4 months to get the next one. So what a day, man. What a stinking day. I am just, again, beside myself. I don't know even how to process what just happened today. 100% in fear for my life right now. I feel at any moment they can come out here and do what they've already done to me one time. They did it to my daughter and son too. So what would make them stop them from doing it? They've gotten away with it this long. If they can just shut me up, they might be able to get away with wherever Elijah and Adron are missing, that they don't have to account for it because there's nobody else advocating for them. So I'm the only person that's keeping my son's, case alive. And my daughter's case alive. Nobody else is keeping it alive. And I disappear, they throw me in jail, that's it. There'd be nobody advocating for the missing, people, because I've reported this to the Josephine County and who I, believe is responsible for their either kidnapping or their death. Instead, I've got threatened with arrest. So it's unbelievable, No, I don't have any security cameras because I'm off grid. So it is what it is. My day of death. I don't care about dying. I got animals that I don't want to have to suffer. They've already suffered enough. So I just really hoping I'd get some answers on my son and daughter today, guys. Something, anything. But you hear they don't care about the death of my son or daughter. They don't care. Nobody cares. Not even his own mom don't care. His grandpa, his nana, his papa, his stepdad, nobody cares about Elijah. I can't even believe his wife's mom or, parents didn't even come out here or call me and try to, figure out what the hell to do here, when their daughter was kidnapped. And so anyways, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I just have to put this in for my safety. I think I said my days are numbered here. We all are, but I think that I really stirred up the hornet's nest this time. If they brought in an attorney, yeah, it is what it is. I'm not nutty. I got grenaded to the face. My son and daughter are missing. Nobody's even looked for them. How's that nutty? But I hear you. You see what they're trying to do to me. So it's not that they haven't provided any counsel. Nothing's been ever done on the record. It's, this is just most cases don't go to trial. 98.5% of cases in America do not go to trial. They take a plea bargain and agree to take to gain for the bar, a plea agreement, a plea deal. They don't go to trial. 3% say they're going to go to trial. 1.5% full. It's only 1.5% actually render a verdict by jury in America, state or federal, period. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought I was going to inch forward today, guys. You know what I'm saying? Every day, now I got to be in hold for my son. I could go 6 months where nobody's going to advocate for the missing person of Elijah or Adron. And you hear they don't care at all. They don't care about the death. They don't respond to it. Nobody responded to the death of my son and daughter. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares about their potential. You know, like I said, my daughter could be being raped every day by the guy who I have evidence that said, hey, I can take and hide your son and daughter. Bring them here. No, 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 no. I don't want to hear that shit. You know? So pretty amazing. Most people just take an agreement because they threaten them like what they're doing with me. Or they just stack your charges and make you feel like, I got 6 felonies I'm facing, a good 20 years in prison. These aren't small felonies. These are big felonies. So they don't like when you stand against the police. They'll target you back and charge you with, harassing the police. That's a big charge, hindering the police. They don't like it when you don't let them do their job. Interfering with the police. They don't like when you don't let them do their job because they're not doing their fucking job. If they were doing their job, I wouldn't be having the issue I'm having, right? So, and menacing the police. That's a big charge there too. That's at least 5 years in prison. So, and I've got 6 felony counts right now because I'm trying to help my son out. I'm now facing probably triple the time he would have originally been put in jail. So I can't believe they assigned a Josephine County judge, guys. They're either going to come out here and kill me or they're going to have to fucking drop this case. And I apologize for my cursing. I'm just a little beside myself. I'm trying to hold my tongue. I'm nowhere with the finding of my son and daughter. Where Josephine County, I went down Josephine County and looked for my son and daughter where they were, or I reported the police, and I went back there and everything's gone now. It's a ghost town. They moved out. It's a big place where they're at too. Well, I know. I'm just trying to hold my tongue a little better. I've been just so mouthy because it's only right I have left as a veteran, a constitutionalist. They have stripped me. Obviously, you can see how many rights they violated of mine today. I don't have a Second Amendment right. They took my weapons from me because I said, hey, you know where my son's at? You guys are in on this. They're out harassing people in this town and going on their property without asking and harassing them when you could be looking for my son. They turn around and file it harassing the police and menacing police against them. Charges against me. Filed targeting, retaliation charges against me because I called out the local sheriff. It just doesn't get better at all. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. So I don't even know how to take today, guys. So I don't know. What did you witness today? What's your thoughts, EMS for life? Because I sure like a second thought than the one in my head, because my head is just, it's a little beside itself right now. They assigned a Josephine County judge. Yeah, but that's not how I lost mine. They took my rights from me, Art of Pain. Not in a boating accident, Mine are gone because I don't have the right to bear arms or protect my animals. So I've gotten rid of all my livestock because I can't take care of my animals, can't protect them. So cougar comes off the hill and tries to eat my dogs, I'm gonna be fighting with the cougar. It looks like. Come on, man. Be socking the cougar. No, not an old lady. I mean, like a real mountain lion. Somebody there's thinking I'm a hit old lady, a cougar. Not that kind of cougar, man. Get your thoughts. Trying to be silly here, guys. It's not going to work, is it? So I don't know. I don't know where to go from here, guys. I just don't know how to take this. That is a very, very, very bad sign for to be able to see my son again. I don't think I'm going to ever see my son again. And if I do, that's great. But it is what it is. I'll see him on the other side. I've already talked to him before all this happens. Said, son, I love you. I could spend a lot of time. And he goes, Dad, I know you only got to spend 8 years with your dad. And I got to spend like 25 with you, man. We'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? So this isn't looking good, though, guys. I think I'm going to find out that Marshall has done something to Adrian and my daughter. And and this is it. This is the evidence that I've been not wanting to see, but I think this proves that Josephine's County is involved with either the kidnapping, the missing persons of my son and daughter, or the murder, and somehow they're covering for Marshall. I don't know how they're covering for Marshall, but they are. They're obviously covering for Marshall. Why would Elijah be at that property and them not go get him? And they have a 7 to 10 year prison sentence on him because Marshall's involved. So this is a bad, 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 bad sign. I am just hurting inside right now because I know I'm dying inside right now. I know Father's I'll be all right, but I'm just, because I know that I'm right, and I hate being right. I hate when I put together investigations like this. I really wish Father wouldn't have made me, a reconstructionist, and so he just made my brain that way. I didn't do it. He made me that way. So Father creates all things. And so my mind is always going to try to figure out the details. And I got them all figured out, guys. I don't need to see the big puzzle. I see it now. I see what's going on here. They're going to cover this up any way they can, shape or form. There's going to be a homicide potentially on the other side of this, or a rape, or it's just not going to be good, guys. But it is what it is. I can't change it. There'd be no reason for them to instill a judge from Josephine County if they didn't, if they weren't involved. You know what I'm saying? So, I never thought it would take that turn, but it is what it is. They assigned a judge from the county that where my son is either kidnapped, my daughter's kidnapped, or potentially murdered. Wow. And they didn't want to hear it at all. They don't care at all. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has any. So I'm thankful, because if I go to prison or I go to jail, then I can't advocate for my son. So you heard them threaten me with arrest, contempt over and over. And Father, I'm still here. So thankful for that. And so once again, I just thought I might pop in and give you guys an update and let you know what happened today. And I wish I could say that it was a good day, but I don't. I mean, I'm out. I'm not in jail right now, so I was real close. As you can see, I was about that close from being put in jail. And for standing up and using my voice, man, for just using my voice, guys. You hear me? I'm just advocating. I'm just advocating for my son. You know what I'm saying? They want to throw me in prison, guys. They want to get rid of me. And I think they already got rid of my son and daughter. And I hope that Adriana's not involved. I hope somehow she's been, I don't even know what to say about that. I don't have any reason why they would split up over this. They love each other a lot. They read the word together a lot. They're very equally yoked, and she's suffered so much just having to put up being that Elijah's, he loves the word like me, and he suffers because of that a lot. So I can't believe I'm a military veteran. You see why I don't like this country, guys? Do you see why I don't like the country? People get mad at me because they tell them I don't like America, but imagine being a veteran to serve this Constitution, and this is what it does to you. This is what the Constitution has done for me. This is what I got an honorable discharge for this. This is what I took an oath to serve the people, and this is how I'm treated. And my son and my daughter. This is appalling. I don't like this country, so I don't care if you don't like me because I don't like this country. I don't have any reason to like the country anymore. It's failed me. It's failed my son and my daughter. And if my son and daughter are missing or dead, I don't ever want anything to do with this country. I'll leave whether they say I can or not. And I'll never come back here ever again. ever will I ever come back to America. Never. People can come here. See, that's why I paid the ministry off, so people can still come here. But I'll never come back to this place ever again. So I hope I don't find out that my son and daughter are dead. I hope I find out that they're still here somewhere, and if they're suffering, that we can get them some help, get them back on the track of the life that they were living. Completely happy, quiet couple living for years together, providing. Both of them had good jobs. My son's self-employed, you know, working on cars and doing a lot of different, he's very creative. And my daughter, same job for many years, working, making a good wage and quiet, no noise complaints. Many years they lived together and never got in any trouble. And 4.5 years they try to tell my son he's in trouble because he didn't do his probation, and he did twice, and they still didn't care, and they still try to throw him in prison. You can see what they just did to me, Um, so this country's failed me, guys. I don't know if I could ever have any respect for what this country's done to me and my son. So I love the people here. I love the original Constitution. I love the idea of the original Constitutional Republic, but I don't have any love for what this country's now done to me. And it's okay. If you choose to love it, I have no love for this country anymore. Not the country itself. So it is what it is. I'll stay here until I can find out about the death. I said I would fight to the death to keep my son from going to prison. So, well, I'm trying to do everything I can I'm not using any guns. I said I would never use a gun. I've made that so clear, so very clear, that this is not an armed fight. This is a fight with my constitutional right and my First Amendment, and using my Fourth Amendment of, protect myself, using my constitutional right of affirmative defense. So I know what my rights are, and when I assert them, I pay the price. So what are you doing, puppy? Biggie big. Sorry, puppies are coming to visit the dad. So, all right, guys, I better wrap this up. I'm a little worn out. Like I said, today was an absolute nightmare, and I know it's something I'm not going to wake up from it because I have to live this nightmare. So it's not anything I can just wake up from. So actually, the only thing that will make the nightmare go away just be go to sleep, And I don't sleep very much because my respiratory problems. Because sleeping 8 hours will kill me. Too much fluid in my lungs at this point. So thank you for your ear. I had to make documentation of this, guys. I'm 100%, and I don't like that, but I think my safety and my well-being are in jeopardy, and I think my son's has already been, and my daughter's has already been, and my animals, and so somebody, like I said, please try to stay up with me here. I don't know. They can do anything at any time. I have no idea what they're going to do next. They'll do whatever they want, as you can tell. They just tried to send me to trial for 6 days without even having a jury appointed or having any witnesses called, guys. So they'll do whatever they want. They'll do whatever they want. So, thy kingdom come. Boy, I'm so. You got a big old head, Tego. And you're going to go back around and bump it again? Yeah, bump it again. So, I'm glad that Father wrote all things. And then I have nothing to be anxious about, that he's the creator and the writer, the author, the editor. So I don't fear, only I fear Father. I just know I don't know. My dogs don't do well without me, guys. So I don't want to be without my dogs. I've done a lot of this for my dogs too. And they're really good to me, and they don't lie, cheat, or steal from me ever. And I love that about them. So they're good animals. I'm very blessed to have good animals. And so, as a matter of fact, I'm going to get off here and hang out with my animals a little bit here. I had to go into town today and was going and talking to some attorneys and stuff. So I had to leave them here. So I'd like to hang out with my boys because he's hanging out with the dad. He's just right here with the dad, huh? He's right here with the dad. So we love him. You want to say goodbye? Say bye-bye, Pants. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. You want to get a paw? Get a paw? Say the paw. Oh, this is a good boy. He's a good one. We love him. We got the puppies to make us feel better. So, all right, bless you guys. Thank you for your time, and enjoy your evening. And thank you for sharing me this experience. I don't mean to bring you down, and I've got to document this, guys. It's got to be documented. So, if this was truly done, what was righteous and right, you know what I'm saying? That you're looking at a $50 million lawsuit today. There's no way that judge can do to me what he did to me today. So maybe Father will prevail. I will let you know that if I do file a lawsuit, I will make it very clear that the money will be donated to both ministries, High Desert Faith and Truth and Grace and Truth Ministries. What are you doing? I might make a fund where I can have some retirement, where I can actually retire somewhere, probably in Ecuador enough, and to, help me travel. But I don't need money. So we'll figure it out. I love you, boy. I just love you so much. You're my best guy. You always make Dad feel the best single time. You know that? Every single time you do. You are the best bone I ever did have. Do you love the dad? You love the dad. He loves the dad. He's a dad's boy. He's always been dad's boy, huh? Say no, I used to be Elijah's. Huh? Were you Elijah's boy? Huh? Were you Elijah's boy? Yes, you were. You're just the most handsome boy I ever did have. That I ever did have. See, sitting up real tall. You got to sit up real tall and just put that big old handsome chest you got there out there, huh? All right. Hey, at least my puppies are man, I look at it and go, man, I'm living the puppy dream out here with my puppies. So blessings, guys. If you want to support the ministry, maybe somebody had started GoFundMe or something for a veteran. I don't know. You know my name. Maybe it doesn't have to be you, but maybe somebody that can start a lawsuit attorney fund. I never wanted anybody to pay for my legal fund, but I've got to get an attorney now, guys. They're going to railroad me if I don't get legal counsel. So I've got some funding. I'm always hard at work, so I just putting it out there. So if you watch the restream, anybody that has that ability, you're more than welcome to try to do something like that. That at this point, I've never asked you to do it. So don't worry if you can't. Coming back, spending time here is very valuable to me. Just having somebody to talk to, because this is a little difficult to get through this. Knowing that, like I said, if my son and daughter weren't missing and they were fine, I'd move on with this. And I just feel it'd be okay. I might gripe a little bit, but probably not, not too much. But it's my so much for my son and daughter, and I don't love them more than I love the word. So I know Father has them right where he wants them, and when he's ready for them to return to my life, then they will. If not, then I won't ever see him again. So I don't have that. That's not up to me. I've done everything I could possibly do in my power at this point. So if I push too much more, I'm going to get thrown in prison or shot dead. So already grenaded me and tear gassed me and shot my son. So I think they're definitely brutal enough to come do it again. So I'll try to live stream it if it happens again, guys. I'll let you know. That's what I'll try to do. I'll try to live it. If they do anything to me, I'll try to go live. Thank you, Father, for the interweb. It really truly kept me alive. I wouldn't for the internet, I wouldn't be here right now. So that's a pretty amazing thought. So hope you've used this tool to the best of your ability. You know what I'm saying? Use it for good and not for bad. So yeah, I know some of the stuff, but that's what I'm saying. I don't even know what to think about this, because it's not going anywhere. It's just not going anywhere. So Father will pour out a just measure on all of us. Let's not seek vengeance and try to, worry. Father does all things after his own counsel. That's my own problem too. I have problems with his timing and he knows all things. Father knows all things, guys. All things after his own counsel and for his own pleasure. So I'll just have to remind myself of that over and over again. And I do daily, that if he wants it to be different, it would be different. There's nothing that hasn't happened that Father doesn't know and hasn't already written. So he will pour out a just measure before he returns. So when he returns. So I love you guys. I don't know how I'm going to make it through these next couple days because I'm just beside myself right now. I don't know how. I don't even have any idea what Father would choose to do next at this point. But like I said, Father he'll provide everything that I can't figure out now. It might not come until after I die, and I'm okay with that too. I might not get any answers but all things will be revealed to me in time. I know that. So it might not be in this life, but I will. He will show me one day. If it's sometime soon, that'd be a blessing. But if not, I'll have to endure the end to figure it out. That's what he said. You have to endure to the end to be saved. So endure, brother, sister. I'm going to let you go. Pastor Revelation, thank you for your support. Pastor Apocalypse. Whoa.